work. Like I'll be like lifting like these like fucking water like boxes of water. We just put like gallons of water in these like cardboard boxes, and then we just put them on the shelf. I'll be like stocking the water, and then like someone will ask me something, and I'll just be like zoned out, and then like, wait, what was that?
Yeah, I can feel that. Yeah, it's not going to take all of your attention span. You're just like, and that's where the days are just passing you on by feeling comes from. When you're doing the same thing and you're entering that loop, your brain is like you're not having any new stimulus. Nothing is new happening. Like it's not like, oh, that day I played soccer with the boys, and then the next day I went down to the comedy club and I worked there. And then the next day I visited the waterfall. It's
Yeah,
like, no, for 6 days out of that week, I was lifting, boxes of filled with, barrels of water or whatever. And then you can't remember that week because nothing happened.
yeah. And I also my job has kind of started to make me hate toddlers. Like, dude, I can't stand them anymore. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
You're like
I,
ladies will come in with their toddlers screaming and like throwing a fit. Like one time I was bagging groceries for this lady. Like her toddler picked up like this broccoli and just like freaking chucked it at the ground. It made the huge like this mess. I had to clean up too, and that's the reason I was mad. I was like, dude, I'm not mad that you don't know how to raise your kid. I'm just mad that I have to clean up your kid's mess now. It's like Jesus, can you not leave them in the car? Like, come on.
yeah. And that's another thing I noticed on the topic. I'll kind of derail it a little bit here is that other people just with the college thing, people telling you to go to college and make sure it's your job and things like that, people are also like trying to follow this path that isn't proven. I have a bunch of friends that are having kids now, like at my age, at like 24,
Yeah,
and I meet up with them, and they're like, so I went to a gathering maybe like a month or two ago with like some people I haven't seen in a while. And I meet up with one of them, like, hey, what's happening? And they're like, blah, blah, blah. Oh, did you know I have a son now? They're like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. Last time we talked, I didn't even know you weren't even seeing anybody. Oh, you got a son? That's wild. And then they're like, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna call the other boy up. And I was like, all right, what's up? I'm gonna wait inside. Then he comes and he's like, hey, what's up? I got a son now too. And I was like,
dude,
oh my god,
I
what
I
are you guys doing?
I do not want to have a fucking kid at like 24, dude. Like, no,
No, no,
dude. I know what
I
I
don't
did
want
to
to
my
have a
mom.
kid
Like,
at
There's
I
so
wouldn't
30.
want
many
that to happen to
people
me.
that have kids around me, and it's just like so weird because like it just seems like the normal thing to do to either like get married like right away or have kids right away, and it's just like I don't think any of these people are really ready to
Yeah,
do that shit. Like I
Not
don't even
even
know what I want to do for a job, let
not
alone
even
like
just ready, but the more sad underlying issue or the sadder undertone that I feel like is present is that I feel a lot of people become parents to fill a void of not having a hobby or a thing that they're passionate about in life. They just think
right.
about
So
having
it's
a
just
kid.
like that. They do it to make themselves interesting in a way that, oh, they think that it's interesting to them.
Yeah, I feel like they
yeah,
do it to make it to give their life purpose, because when you do that, your life does have a purpose now. But that's not the only purpose you can give your life. You could pursue, something on the side, something that you're also passionate about. You could, there's a million different things, but yeah, I see that, and that's one of the sadder things. Is I know some people that I feel like, and some girls, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a mother just for the sake of being a mother. That's fine. You can absolutely
yeah.
like that, but I feel like I know people that have taken that path, not necessarily, because they wanted a kid. They
Right.
just
They just
wanted
make it
something
their
to do.
life, and it's just for the sake of they really have no other hobbies
Yeah,
other than that.
Yeah, other than kid.
yeah. It's my life goal. I have a kid. Like, that's my hobby. It's my full time. It's just it's my passion in life. Kid. Like,
It's my it's my passion in life, which is such. Look, even about my kid, like even if I had a kid in the future, I'd be like, dude, come on, like if I didn't have anything else that I was doing on the side that I was happy about, if I wasn't, making YouTube videos or trying to create stuff on the side of my life, up until I was 40 was literally grind job and take care of kid, oh my god, I'd be suicidal.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
dude,
honest, dude. I'd be like, where'd my life go?
like if you don't have anything else to do, it's like, oh, I guess I'll just go make sure this like fucking little shithead doesn't die for 20
Yeah,
years.
I guess I'll
Like,
just watch over this kid for 20 years. I'll take him to school, and then I'll come home and I don't know, fucking watch the news until I pick him up again.
yeah, dude, doesn't seem. I don't think that lifestyle is for me just yet. Like,
I've devised my plan. I have the meta build, and I'm very happy. I feel like when I didn't know necessarily what I wanted, I it I feel like a lot of people, even people in college, I feel like ultimately, just even if you're going to college or whatever, just ask yourself, what is it that you want? What is it that you want? That plain and simple. Is it that you want to travel? You want to have enough money so that you can travel and continue to live your life. Well, if you do some research, you really don't need to make six figures in order to be able to travel for, however many years you want comfortably, so on and so forth. You just there's more, things are more obtainable than I think people think, and they go out and they dig themselves into this gigantic hole because they don't even know what they want. But whatever it is, it's gonna be big, and I'm gonna keep going and keep piling this debt on, and then you reach the end, and it's like, wow. So, yeah, that's an important question. Just what do you want?
all right, I have a couple more questions. Like with your guys' YouTube channel, when you do the videos are like entirely online, like I've never seen that anywhere else. So
Oh shit, here
is that
we go.
like
All right.
is that like who came up with it? Like did like
Fat Dipper,
but
100% Fat Dipper, and I was against doing it in the first place. Fat Dipper had the idea. We were just doing
So
For
so
Honor
pretty much it
content.
was like I saw the Anthem trailer. That was the time where there was a lot of trailers coming out that were like they got like the cringy fake actors to voice over and just like pretend like they're playing the game, but you can tell they're in like an like a audio booth. They're not even. I don't know if they can even see the game at this point,
yeah.
and it just felt really cringy. And I was like, you know, people are always shitting on these videos. Like, why don't we just make one of our own? It'll be like way better and obvious. I don't think our Anthem video is better, but I thought that we could make it better and like sort of make it in a way that like, what if actually they had people that were, actual quote unquote gamers or whatever playing the trailer? What would it be like? What would they say? And so that's where we started with that. And Anthem did good. I didn't think it would do good, but it did. So we kept going with it.
Isn't the Skyrim online video your guys' biggest video? Right?
No, Anthem
No?
Is
is
it?
still
Anthem?
still to
Oh.
date.
I think it's
Anthem, yeah.
still Anthem.
Well,
Still Anthem,
I
which is surprising that it is Anthem, but yeah, it is. It's 100%. Which is Skyrim is like it's not necessarily, which again is, it's not how good the content of your video is. There's other things that play into why people will like another video more than another one. But yeah, surprisingly, it's still breakout Anthem. But we're working on something. We're working on something that we're looking to dethrone it with.
yeah.
We're looking to make a big swing here. So we'll
I
leave it
feel
at
like for the time period, like the reason Anthem did good was just because of that whole thing where everyone was tired of seeing these trailers of people doing like the cringy voice acting, and ever since that, really, Ubisoft stopped making those trailers
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
because
killed
we made
those.
fun of
We
that.
we killed the entirely online. We killed those kinds of trailers. I'm not. I don't want it. I didn't think I'd ever be able to take credit for an actual move that a company has made for anything, especially anything as big as like EA or whatever. But I firmly believe that those, and maybe the Sea of Thieves video like actually made people stop. Like the developers for the Sea of Thieves actually commented on one of the there was a post on their subreddit of this video, and they actually commented like, "Oh, we watched this and
Yeah,
with the
we had the whole
developers."
studio watching
Yeah,
this.
they pulled the whole studio together and they watched the video. So I was like, the developers are definitely seeing what we're doing with some of these
Yeah.
entirely onlines, and people are like, oh shit, all right, hey. Cancel the voice actors. We're just gonna release a gameplay trailer, which is funny because ultimately we needed more of those for that sort of trailer series to continue. And since we killed those, the trailers also had to die. So we moved on to other things.
Yeah. I found you guys' channel through the Skyrim video, bro. That I watched that video so many times. Like that shit had me dead. Like the first time I watched it, like I was I was like playing Xbox. I just completely stopped. I was like, guys, this is the video. You guys gotta check it out. It was so
You guys gotta check it out. That's great. I want to say, yeah, that was a big win
Skyrim's a lot
for us
of
too.
like the first ones that people have seen from us. It was that
Yeah.
and like the trailers, but Skyrim was our first one that we actually broke off and we're like, let's actually make a story here and not
Mhm.
just follow whatever the trailer is doing. So
And
it was a
yeah.
big jump for us.
it was a big jump for us, and especially since like the entire narrative was basically ours. With the trailers, you had to work with what you were given, basically. You could tell that we kind of wanted to do more towards the end of the trailers with stuff like
Like Rainbow
mainly with
Six.
Rainbow
I think that
Six.
was
Yeah.
like the main one. Like we
Rainbow
really
Six was the
broke out
one
with
where you
that
could
one.
tell. That's where you could tell like we really wanted to do more, especially like with the ending with I think Havoc is his name, hacking in like the Roblox 1v1. You could tell we really wanted to move on, and so that's what we did. We took about 3 months, like 3 whole months, writing, filming, getting the voice lines, editing, so on and so forth. And then we made this video. We had no idea what people were going to think of it because it was so different. It was so different, and the way that it was filmed, and just a bunch of different things. But overall, yeah, that's probably number one being Anthem, and then number two being Skyrim. I don't think those are any coincidences because number one being Anthem is where we were like, let's just do something crazy, and that's what we did. We made Anthem, and then for Skyrim, the same thing was let's just do something crazy, and that's what we did. We made Skyrim, and for this one that we're working on right now, it's the same
We're doing
sentiment where
something crazy.
Me and Pat looked at each other and we said, "Pat, let's do something crazy," and that's where we are.
Yeah, I think that was like a great video. Like
And for this video, we're taking a lot of cues from that one. Not just because of obviously it worked, but because that was our first narration, or first like time building a narrative, doing
yeah,
any real writing. So with that, there's a lot of stuff in it that worked. There's some things that didn't. So for this video, people will definitely notice like some scenes that are not like similar, right? Like there's not going to be a dark brotherhood in this video or
yeah,
anything like that, and we're not going to drink anything that's going to like make us pass out. But in terms of video flow and feel, it sort of has that flow and feel, but without being able to go into too much detail, you'll definitely notice some inspiration from like Skyrim in this video if you're
yeah,
looking for it.
yeah. Like when I saw it, I was like, I know Skyrim is out online. Like and like that's like that looked really hard to do because like you had like they're all like NPCs, right? And like
Yeah. So
That's why we moved on from Skyrim and we've been doing other games because
yes,
Skyrim, like we
Skyrim.
wanted to make a Skyrim 2 for a while now. Ever since Skyrim 1 came out, we were thinking about Skyrim 2. And
Yes.
we've
We
come up
actually
with good
do.
ideas and
I actually have footage of Skyrim 2. Skyrim 2 was in development for a brief period of time. It was maybe for like almost a month, maybe like 2 weeks. I have fight scenes of Skyrim. I have two fight scenes for Skyrim. I have the entire episode storyboarded out. We have like the beginning, the middle, the end, all that good stuff. It exists in our minds. It's not on paper. It's not on a video. Oh, again, we have those short videos, but other than that, yeah, it's mainly in our head. And maybe one
And the
day it will
biggest
see the light
issue,
of day, but
and the reason why we don't make it is because it's Skyrim is just really bad in
Yeah.
terms of like it's like create engine or whatever.
well, look, Skyrim Together is looking really good. It's looking really stable. People are actually playing it, and we could probably do some big things with something like that. But it really depends. Whether Skyrim 2 or not exists is going to depend on what happens after we upload this video. I think that a lot of people that like Skyrim are really going to be blown away by what we're working on here. It has that energy. It has that feel. It has that journey feel that you'll get from something like where it just feels like I'm sitting here and there's a story here, but it's obviously still a comedy at the end of the day, but it's still just like this is a full package that I'm looking at here. And that's what the goal for something like this is. With previous videos that weren't Skyrim, going and thinking about things like, let's say, um, Kingdom Hearts or Assassin's Creed or Fallout. Those were built in mind. So, like, we were like, okay, let's get our foot in the door. And if this video does well, then we'll make a second one. And if that video does well, then we'll make another one. So they were, when we were building these, they never felt, in my opinion, as holistic as something like Skyrim did. The first episode of Fallout probably felt that way. It felt more in line with it. It wasn't as long as Skyrim, but it definitely had a more it was more of a longer narrative, but it
Yeah.
still didn't hit the way that we want to. We weren't sure why. And certain things like that, I want to say, with if there's anybody out there looking to continue YouTube or maybe even start YouTube from listening to this, you have to be willing to do a lot of things that aren't going to work. There's going to be people that upload videos on YouTube. They might upload 10 videos on YouTube and they don't do well, and they don't understand why they do, like why they didn't do well. And oh man, I just wasted, this much time of my life. Well, in order to get better at something, you're going to have to do it a lot of times and you're going to have to make a lot of mistakes. And we've made a lot of mistakes along the way in making these videos. And I never look at one of the videos that we made, maybe like a video that didn't get a lot of views, like if Pro Gamers played Assassin's Creed. I don't look at that because it has less views as it has less views than Anthem or Skyrim, and I call it a failure. Like, oh, I wasted 3 months of my life for 100,000 views. What does that equate to? Essentially, like maybe a little over $200. I spent 3 months making $200. You make more than $200 maybe in like 2 days at your job at the grocery store. But you don't look at it as a failed endeavor. It's something that you have to learn from, and if you're not willing to learn from those mistakes, you won't go far because your first 10 videos are not going to be viral sensation.
Yeah.
Just doesn't happen. So yeah, you got to work your way there.
Yeah, I honestly think that's a good note to end on because I've been recording about an hour now. Dang, I told you guys it'd take 20, 15 minutes. It's been damn near an hour. Oh,
No, that's fine. I've enjoyed the podcast. It's
yeah.
pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming. I wish I could record longer, but I only have one hard drive and like my PC's not the best. So 1 hour's already a lot. But...
I just had to I had to upgrade to an 8 terabyte external hard drive
Really?
just recently.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Like, yes, I like my storage.
Dude, I don't even have a full terabyte. I have like a fucking like 300 gigabytes. Like that's nowhere near enough. Like I'm always like clearing shit out.
Oh god, 300 gigabytes of hard drive space, dude.
That's rough, man.
Yeah, no. It's not fun.
You gotta upgrade.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. One more time, thanks for coming. I'm gonna stop recording, and then boom.